Today we have the electronic real feel Mattel T-Rex based off of Kenner's electronic real feel Tyrannosaurus, commonly known as the Red Rex. It is indeed real feel, from the neck all the way down to the tail, and it's a very heavy-duty toy considering its size. It's a little bit bigger than your average extreme chomping T-Rex. I was hoping that it would be quite a bit bigger, but then that would raise the cost probably by, like, 30%. As it would be a lot of material. Now, I currently have him in one of the poses you can place him, which is rearing up, and I'm gonna leave him like this for the majority of the review, because this is how I have him displayed on my shelf. But anyways, unlike what you typically see in pictures, promo images of this toy, here in broad daylight you're given a more accurate representation. A tomato red, I would call it, a almost like a muted brick red. It's got a lot of orange to it. It's still darker in person than it is on camera. So, despite the fact that it's not as red as other reviews have, shown it to be, it's still pretty dark. It's pretty much still being oversaturated in the viewfinder here. Now, as we can see here, they went ahead and airbrushed the brown markings on its face, its neck, all the way down to the end section of the tail. Unfortunately, they didn't do the tip, but that's, that's it's par for the course here with Mattel. As for the belly, we have it basically from the base, not even really, we'd say about the mid-length down to the base of the tail. Here are the feet. Nothing spectacular there. Again, par for the course. Large, almost comical sized feet. And while we're on the subject of feet here, it has been noted, and unfortunately never fixed, that the left foot here has less scoots than the right. And not only this, but if you can see here, the scoots line all the way up to the ankle for the right side. But on the left side, it stops right in the midsection of the dual claw. I have no clue what's going on there. Like the Kenner Red Rex, it lacks paint on the forelimbs, but it's really not an issue for most collectors to begin with, since they're so itty-bitty, though, extra paint's always welcomed. Okay. Now, another thing I want to take away from this paint scheme and coloring and so on and so forth, patterning, is that unlike the Kenner design here. It's namely stripes. And very clustered dots, whereas the Kenner Rex, it's speckled all over the place. Alright? The front here of its face is, I'd say it's pretty damn accurate. It's actually wider than most versions of this toy, which I quite like. A lot of people have pointed out that they really dislike this end part here, and I don't know why they did this. I'm not sure if this was even needed in order to articulate the jaws more, but yeah, it's not really that big of a deal for me personally. If it was down to here like the promo images showed, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a little too extreme, no pun intended. The tail. Now, a lot of people seem to lack the understanding here of this tail. They think that, oh, it's just, you know, rubberized to make it bendable and stuff. But, like the Kenner Red Rex, you can actually bend it. And when I say bend, I mean permanently bend it. So right now I have it kind of veering to the side here, and I can do it even more. It does have a bendy wire. And there you go. See? He is actually articulated in the tail. I don't know if you'd really consider that articulated in the tail versus, you know, bendable, wired in the tail, which is the proper form of movement and posability here. You see here, right before the tail, right before the bendy wire, we have the seam. So it was added on later, whereas this part and forward has this hard plastic interior. Whoop! He's wanting to fall now because kind of messed with him a bit too much. The arms are bendy, but this is also found in a lot of the figures, so nothing too crazy. Yes, he does eat figures, as I had shown. The articulation is for the insertion of figures, and this slot here, or slit, or whatever you want to call it, opens up to retrieve whatever you may have shoved down its throat. I don't have anything to shove down its throat with this review, but trust me, it works for the 1/18 figure sets, not just the mini dinos, which is really nice. Here you have the print of the Mattel and all the different companies, or rather, you know, the company, Amblin. As you can see here, let's see, it is 2022 that this was made. So, a whole year before it came out to stores and whatnot. And here we have the sound feature. Or rather the speaker box. It's a little bit different. It's got two different gratings. It has the weird trypophobia type, you know, inserts. I don't know what to call those holes. And then on the inside, your basic speaker holes. It does take I do believe it takes button cell batteries, which all of them seem to appear to take, which is, you know, kind of a pain in the butt if you need a replacement. Also to note, I don't know why I even bring this up, but if your dinosaur is low in batteries, some of them will actually beep. Very loud, obnoxious beep, so yeah, keep that in mind. You don't want those things eroding in there. Alright, now the question is, where is this button that activates the roaring features? Right on the back hip. That's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. Okay, so you get 4 different sounds. Let me go back to that other one sec. Now, a lot of people are like, I've never heard this sound clip in any of the films. Where in the world did it come from? My theory on it is that they kind of did a mock-up, if you will, to give tribute to the awkward roaring, excuse my language, what? Awkward roaring of the Kenner Red Rex. For those who grew up with the toy or have it and have it in working condition, the roar is very just off-putting and completely and utterly made up. It's not something you'll hear in the films at all. It sounds nothing like the Tyrannosaurus Rex of Jurassic Park. So I think, again, that was just meant as homage to the Kenner. Now, the hips, going back to the legs here and the hips, they do articulate. They can swivel out and in. They can articulate. They're on a ratchet, by the way. They're on a ratchet ball joint here, so they can articulate. There's a snap, audible snap here to tell you it's locked in place, and you can pretty much do that like 180 degrees before it looks freaking bizarre. And finally, anyways, we have what I dislike more than anything on this. I was really hoping this was a dino damage piece, but it's scan code as part of the course for Mattel. Now, thing to note is it's not just taking inspiration from the Kenner Red Rex, but also the Bull T-Rex Gulper from Kenner, as well as the Lost World figurines and older Jurassic Park first line with the dino damage. The Red Rex does not have dino damage with the Kenner version. The eyes are your typical mustard yellow. The teeth are an off-white. The tongue is a salmon color. And the belly is, it's really just a off, like, it is a green color, but it's more like lime, I suppose. It's more of like a yellow green, as opposed to the green of the Kenner. Got nice detailing on the face. Absolutely stunning detailing on the face. Detailing across the body could have been a lot better. They could have used an entirely different sculpt for the body as far as I'm concerned. Same goes with the belly. It looks like they tried to add the iconic scalings of the body, but it's still just very much what's the word, blurred out. Sculpted out for favor of the weird sagging, you know, elephantine skin. It would have been really freaking awesome if this whole sculpt's not just the head, but this whole sculpt was brand new for this thing. I mean, I get that they have molds that they have to use, and you know, it's cheaper to retool, but I think people would have definitely been buying them off the shelves even more so than now. The box is really cool too, and is very much Kenner inspired, to the point of it being, I'd say, a 1-to-1 copy of what a Kenner dinosaur box would have looked like back then. Finally, we have to compare it to the original Kenner T-Rex. Let's see here, because this guy does not stand. I mean, that's the biggest problem with this figure here. As you can see, it is, as the novel described, a molted red, so not a true red like what you see here. And it's actually pretty crazy because, again, in this viewfinder, it's really saturating the heck out of this Mattel T-Rex. There is no eating feature. Because, again, that was inspired by the Gulper T-Rex. Unfortunately, mine does not have batteries, nor does it have tester pads, so I can't even test this thing out if I wanted to. I don't know who in the world ripped them out, but the tester coils are completely gone in it. He's in still pretty good shape considering. Actually came from some dude's attic. But here, let's see if I can do a size comparison. This thing is huge. Yeah, like this thing is, yeah, the we see who the star is when it comes to the stature here, right? And like per usual, Mattel's T-Rex has a much, you know, desired tail. It really is just way too short, especially when compared to this. And I'm not just saying the size alone, I'm saying the ratio of the tail to body on this figure. This is just much to be desired. That said, I think they're both really good figurines for their different reasons here. This one's definitely got a better head sculpt. That's without a shadow of a doubt. The rest of it is accurate to the Jurassic World Rexy, but when it comes to the accuracy of the original maquette and animatronic Tyrannosaurus Rex, this is a clear winner. Like I said, only the head does the Mattel justice when it comes to accuracy. So yeah, I could see why everybody absolutely loved this figure growing up, the 93 Kenner T-Rex. It was way ahead of its time. This was before 3D printers and all that. They had to sculpt it all from memory and references. You even get these little pimples. Sorry, can't really focus, but you see that? You get all those nice pimples and scales and wrinkles, and they're all like one-to-one with the Jurassic Park maquette T-Rex. All the way down to the tip of its tail. And then the belly is that olive green versus the lime green. It's got, now a lot of people are like, what the heck is going on with the arms here? Well, the arms were a mistake, yes, but I'll explain why they're like this. Alright, it's as simple as this. They were given the raw file of the Jurassic Park T-Rex for the animatronic, okay? And as you know, any model that is in need of rigging and all that is in a T-pose. So they literally copied the T-Rex in its exact pose, which was a T-pose. That is why he's always displaying dominance. But it's okay. You can always, you know, get somebody to make you more accurate arms. Well, this is pretty much it on the review. Both figures are awesome for their own reasons, and I don't really have a preference. I love them both, but I will say that I did not grow up with this T-Rex. I grew up with the Thrasher Kenner T-Rex, as well as the Gulper. This one also had a jaw feature where you squeeze its sides and the mouth would open, but mine's busted on that as well. A lot of these are broken, sadly. But yeah, definitely worth the money for this guy for sure, hands down. One of the best, if not the best, Tyrannosaurus Rex by Mattel. So tell me what you guys think. Bye-bye.